that's scary. Yo, 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 yeah, that's scary.
Top 5 dead alive, only came to terrify. Every topic scary, we could lead the bravest paralyzed. Hope you're not at home alone, better keep the lights on. But if you love adrenaline, then welcome to the fright zone. Willie is the leader, the visionary dreamer. Jarrord got the joke, scaredy cat the screamer. You gon' get this work if you scared, go to church. This podcast is scariest, you heard it here first.
That he said that to me because I was like, I'm just excited that Jeepers Creepers is here. You know, I want to see the character again. But when because he's a huge lover of Jeepers Creepers.
Yo, yeah, that's scary. Yo, yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's scary.
Hi, it's me, Matthew Patrick Davis. I play the mother in Barbarian. And here's a sneak peek of the bonus content you'll get when you get Barbarian on digital now.
Matt, who played the mother, is so great in this movie, where he's able to be terrifying and also very endearing.
Cut. Very nice.
When I was cast, Zach said, look into feral children. And so I did. I went down a dark rabbit hole of watching very depressing videos about actual real children that have been trapped during their formative stages. The real people's stories that I found informed the physicality of the character. There was kind of a through line between a couple girls that had kind of crouched physicality and held their hands like an animal's paws almost. It allowed me to approach the character of Mother from a place of empathy. You know, she's not just a scary monster going rawr. She is the victim of horrific abuse.
There it is, cut.
It's a lot of fun. Every actor likes to transform themselves.
Ooh, spooky.
And this is the ultimate transformation.
We had an incredible special effects team that designed the mother head to toe in like the coolest, scariest way.
Well, when we first did it, it was about 5 hours. And each time we did it, it got faster and faster. At one point, I got it down to under 2 hours. Every day I was in awe and relieved. Oh, and she doesn't look like me.
Oh, what up, what up?
Yo, I am so excited. I am so excited to have him. So listen, Matthew Patrick Davis is an actor, songwriter, and musician who most recently portrayed Mother in 20th Century Studios' hit horror film Barbarian. As a songwriter, he has co-written and produced songs for upcoming seasons of The Ghost and Molly McGee on Disney Channel and T.O.T.S on Disney Junior, working alongside series songwriter Rob Cantor. He was also commissioned to write a children's album, I Love My Dog, for the screen-free audio device YOTO Player. He's written music and lyrics for a number of comedic songs and musicals for the Upright Citizens Brigade Theatre, San Francisco SketchFest, and his own YouTube channel, including the most recent Pun Off, a musical inside the high-stakes world of pun competitions. And when I heard he was doing it, I was like, yes, 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 we need more puns in this world. His YouTube video, Nightmare Before Christmas Live, has over 5 million views and counting. And let me tell you, when I seen this video, it trended so large. He totally gave the world something that every Nightmare Before Christmas fan wanted to see, and he totally delivered that, and it was amazing. As an actor, Matthew made his Broadway debut in the musical revival Sideshow, directed by Bill Condon. Listen, that show was so beautiful. The sets, the costumes, everything. You guys, TV guest credits include Dwight in the Shining Armor, Henry Danger, which is also show, The Late Late Show, Comedy Bang Bang, Tosh.0, Sam and Kat, Community, and Sarah Silverman Program, Geek, and so much more. I mean, the dude is just, I mean, let me tell you, this is not going to be the first time you hear about Matthew Patrick Davis. There's going to be so much more in the works. Ladies and gentlemen, my main man and the man of the hour, Matthew Patrick Davis.
Oh my goodness.
What's up? Oh my gosh. First of all, I gotta say thank you so much for just coming in and just having fun with us. The show is wild and it's crazy, and we got so much to talk about. But let me tell you, it is so good to see a fellow actor from the theater side cross over to the horror side. I thought I was the only one, and let me tell you, you did a phenomenal job. I am so proud of you, and so just excited just to know you, and just that to see just the great things you've done. I mean, you guys, you played one of the zombies in, was it the Sprint commercial? And
it was a commercial for Sprint. That's right.
And I love that commercial so much that I started to hit up Sprint to be sponsors at my horror events because of that commercial. I was like, if you're gonna get a zombie and you're gonna use Matthew Patrick Davis, you're gonna be a sponsor of my events. And man, oh man, I am so excited to have you today. You guys, Matthew Patrick Davis, man. Like, first of all, listen, can we just jump right in, because I know you're on tight schedule here, but we just want to talk about Barbarian with you. First of all, let's let everyone introduce yourself to everyone. Who is Matthew Patrick Davis?
I mean, you just read my entire bio. You asked me for my bio, which I thought you were just going to have in print on a thing, and then I didn't know you'd read it aloud. Good Lord.
I have to. First of all, because we want to set the record straight. And not only that, but it's an audio show too, so people that are listening in their cars and whatnot got to know. But like, just tell in your own words, who's Matthew Patrick Davis?
Oh, I'm just a little old me. I hail from San Diego, California.
Oh, San Diego!
That's right. And, and I spin many disparate plates that sometimes result in fun juxtapositions, like writing a kid's album of songs about dogs at the same time that you're going to Bulgaria to play a large naked feral woman.
What? Crazy.
You do all the things.
Yes. Okay. So first of all, let me just say Disney loves you. Okay.
Well,
Disney loves him, because let me just say Disney will keep Matthew working. First of all, you've done so many Disney Channel shows, Disney and Junior, and also Disney was the brains behind the distribution from Barbarian. Believe it or not,
that's right. Barbarian is technically a Disney movie, and I think technically the mother is a Disney princess.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God! I'm glad we understand.
Let's go. Okay.
I'll see you at the parks, and I'll be at the parades.
Say Bob.
Feeding the children with my hairy milk bottle.
Yes. In your words, what is Barbarian the movie?
What is it?
Yeah, what is it?
It's like a bonkers horror movie that takes a bunch of wacky turns, and you don't know what's coming, and you think it's one movie, and then it just becomes another movie, and then it becomes another movie, and it's a fun ride.
You know what? It is a fun ride. The movie is a 3-act story outline that literally takes these characters and I would say the viewers on such a ride that you don't know the outcome. And what I love about this movie is that I believe you, Jarrord, mentioned this. He was like, you do watch the trailer, then watch the movie. It is nothing alike. There are no spoilers. It will not tell you a damn thing about the movie, and you have to be invested to watch it. And they did a great job on on the trailers to not put out any spoilers. But then when you take it, it takes a whole nother twist and turn. Let me tell you, I'm a huge fan of Barbarian. And I wanted to share with you how I discovered it. So we were sitting in the Up the Scary team. We were all in the chats and we're like, yo, let's all watch and do a movie review. You know, we're coming back. Which movie review will we do? And I think Jarrord was like, let's do Barbarian. I'm like, yes, we need to do Barbarian. And the time that Barbarian was coming out, and let me just say this, the advertisement was very like, it didn't get much at first. At first, we didn't hear about this movie at first because I guess it was on track to be an independent film, and then it got picked up to go worldwide or have a worldwide release. But like we were building Yep That's Scary at that time. So when Yep That's Scary was like actually coming out, Barbarian was already in theaters, and we kind of missed it. So we're like, you know what, we're just gonna go watch it. And so when we did, I was on Skype with our production manager, and we were watching it, and we're both screaming. I moved into this new house. I'm locking the doors. I'm feeling like Tess. I was like, "Yo, I'm in an Airbnb. I feel like let me lock these doors." And it took us on such a roller coaster. After the movie was done, Brent and I started to clap. Okay, we started to clap, and then I started looking at the credits. Something just said, "Look at the credits." I was like, "Hmm." And then there's your name. I was like, "Shut up!" I was like, "No, no, 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 not Matthew Packaging. I know him." And Britt was like, "No, no, you don't." I'm like, "No, no, he's my friend on Facebook." And we looked at your profile. There it was. You had the Barbarian logo up there, and I geeked out. Matthew, I am your huge fan, dude.
You didn't know that you were looking at my sweet teats the
Yeah.
whole time.
Let's talk about it. Okay, so
We want to talk specifically about your teats and the nipples.
yeah, and everything because it
What
gave,
is it?
it
What's
gave me
it?
so much life. It gave me so much life. So, how was the process like in auditioning for the role of mother? Like, because there's some actors that follow us, and there's some people that want to get into this as well. And so, how was that process like for you?
Well, first it was a Zoom call with Zach Kreger, the writer-director, and he was like, is this even anything you'd want to do, man? And I was like, why? Because prosthetics are uncomfortable? And he's like, no, because you'd be naked, man, ass out. And I was like, what? I mean, I assumed it was going to be like a full-body suit or something like that. And I'm like, well, I'm not a naked, I'm not a woman, so I'm not going to be naked, but, And but turns out it was like pieces on my body and then
your
like
body.
paint for the rest of the body, and I had a little weird thong up my butt, and I was asked out, but that's not what she asked. And then there was a weird self tape. He was like, "Can you put yourself on tape?" There was a cut scene in the film after the breastfeeding scene, where mother forcibly breastfeeds Justin Long.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to feed her baby, and
Yes.
her baby isn't latching. So she grabs a rat and bites the head off of a rat and then masticates it and then baby birds it into Justin's open mouth.
Now,
So we shot that in Bulgaria. We shot that, and then it was cut. But for the audition, he asked me to do that scene. He was like, just grab a hot dog or something and have that be a rat. And then he's like, also, I hate myself for asking this, but can you take your shirt off? So I was in my office in this room. It looked weird doing the self-tape with shorts. So I was just like in my underwear, drooling. Oh, and so I was going to get a sausage or something, but I had pickles in my fridge. So I had this pickle.
No.
And so I'm drooling pickle juice. It creates like this xenomorph drool, the pickles, and a good crunch. Oh, and there's my face. Okay. And then, so I'm in this office drooling pickle juice all over towels that I have on the floor with my small dog sitting in his bed, just watching me like nothing's. And that was the booker. That was what did it. So,
so you got the job based of how gross you could eat a pickle.
That's right. Yep. And so take that as an inspiration, all you young actors out there. All you got to do is take your shirt off and drool a pickle.
listen, I heard about that deleted scene. I heard that that was in the script where they're is a part. Let me just read it. A past interview of Zach mentioned a deleted scene called the baby bird mascatating scene. She forces Justin to nurse, but he refuses to latch on Mama. Mama screams in his face, and then she snatches up a rat, tears off the head, and then bites it and spits it into Justin's mouth. And that was a take, and it was used with chewed up prosciutto, spitting it in his mouth.
Yeah.
Justin allowed that to happen? Like that really happened?
Yeah, I mean, he's been a prosthetic walrus, so this was just like another day.
But you actually spit in his mouth?
Yes, it was this bloody, I guess ketchup-y prosciutto, and I spit it into his mouth. And before that, I was like, "You all right with this, man? How you okay? Are you ready?" And he's like, "Well, it's definitely the grossest thing, so we have to do it." That was his attitude.
Wait. Can we? I want to put this in perspective. When you went to ask him this, were you full makeup, ass cheeks in the wind, like, "Hey, dude, man, I picture you like butt naked in the whole suit." Hands in your head. You cool me spitting in your mouth. What are you going to say? No to that?
Yeah, I was tits out at the time, and just having a normal conversation as you do from one fellow actor to another.
Wow.
And that's how it happened. You can find this scene on Entertainment Weekly. They posted the video of it. So just search Entertainment Weekly, Barbarian, the rat. You can see it in all its glory.
Oh my gosh! Thank you so much for that tip. I'm going to watch that. Go ahead, Jarrord.
I was unaware of how gross was that rat? Was it gross?
Well, it was it wasn't real rat. It was just prosciutto, and actually in Bulgaria there's a lot of Italian restaurants, funnily enough. So I think that night Justin had prosciutto at the restaurant he was at, and we had prosciutto later. Also, after that, I went to Italy and I had some prosciutto. So it didn't turn me off of prosciutto.
Good.
If anything, it just gave it more resonance.
How was it like working with your director, Zach? Sorry, Jarrord, I had to throw this in.
He was great. Yeah, he was great. He's just like a funny dude, and for this was basically his first time as a solo director, doing this thing that he wrote, and he just knew what he wanted and was really good about getting what he wanted and then moving on when he got it, and then also like pivoting when things weren't working out. He would just be like, all right, that didn't work, let's do this. And yeah, he was great. And
you guys taped this during COVID, correct?
Yeah, it was in the summer of 2021. Yeah.
Oh, summer 2021. And then you guys were in Bulgaria. Why Bulgaria?
Well, a lot of things shoot in Bulgaria. There's all these sound stages there. I think studios for low budget things take things over there because they use the Bulgarian crew, which is like cheaper than using like a union crew in the States. So it's, it's sad. I mean, it's outsourcing. It's, it's not great, but that's how people can do it for low budget.
That's a sound stage you shot
on. They built, so the exterior, like that city block where the main house is and all those blown out houses are, those were all built in a field in Bulgaria.
Wow. I thought this was Detroit, like straight up.
And then there are like when she's driving through and you see her passing houses, that is actually Detroit. So they shot like 1 or 2 days in Detroit, but everything else, and then like in Malibu, like Justin's obviously driving in Malibu,
right?
But then it goes to Detroit or Bulgaria. Everything else is Bulgaria. So it's pretty amazing that they were able to like. I don't think you would have known. You would just be like, I'm watching Detroit.
So here's something I love. I love the idea. First off, my bread and butter, what I love monster movies. You know what I mean by that? I grew up watching Godzilla. They created the Soupmation, which is dressing up as a monster, acting and stuff. So I love that's my bread and butter, practical effect monsters. So what was I saw you said you study feral children. Do you have any? Can you kind of walk me through your process of getting ready for to become mama?
Well, and then also, could you explain who is mother or mama to the viewers and the listeners at home?
Well, I mean, if you've watched Barbarian, you know that she's like some sort of, product of horrific abuse and inbreeding, and by this guy Frank, who is a horrific rapist and murderer of women and abductor, and it's it's this dark, disturbing thing, and yeah, Zach early on was like sent me down the rabbit hole of looking up feral children, and they were described as being like a 3-year-old in a 20-year-old's body, or they have this or they were never spoken to in their formative stages, and then therefore never learned to speak. And so it just it explained why the mother's nonverbal in the script, and why she does kind of have this like stunted mentality, and it just allowed me to like have extreme empathy for her. Like the best monsters, if you're like a fan of monster movies, I mean, that goes back to like Frankenstein and King Kong and stuff.
Yes.
You see like they're a victim of their circumstances, as well as capable of acts of violence.
Yes.
Yeah, Mom, when I was watching, Mom was not really the villain at all. She's just misunderstood, and she just wants a parent. And I guess Frank got too old to procreate, or I guess didn't want to procreate no more. So she never perceived it. That was such a disturbing film. We're sitting there going for the tunnel. All of a sudden, there's just this tape playing, this woman breastfeeding on loop. And it was sickening. And the movie chopped up so quick. It was unexpected. Like, this was an unexpected movie for me, because I watched the trailer and stuff. And my dad came home. He's like, you got to watch this movie. He's a big horror fan as well. He's like, you got to watch this movie. He's like, well, okay. When I get some time, I'm going to watch this movie. He's trying to feed the nephew with a bottle. He's like, yeah. I was like, why are you feeding him like that? Just messing with the kid because my mom with him. He's like, stop that. so he's literally now trying to hand feed the baby, like you're like reaching down, like, can you stop terrorizing the child? Yeah, it was an ordeal for about a week.
Yeah, I think Barbarian's also an inspiration to mothers everywhere about how to feed your child. Put him in a pit, and stick your arm through the grate and put a little hair on the nipple of the bottle, and
hey, that was a playpen. That wasn't a pit. This is a good mother.
Let's talk about the design of Mother. How did that come about? Like, did they they had to take pictures of your physique and just like, okay, how can we, but like how did that design and process work out for you, or what do you remember of that process?
Yeah, the design team was all in Bulgaria, FX Studio Bulgaria. They did the makeup, and so usually on something like this, like if it was in LA, you would be able to be doing makeup tests, like months in advance leading up to it. For this, I was flown out to Bulgaria like maybe a week before my first day of shooting. So we had that week to kind of do tests and figure it out. Before that, they took a cast of my head and sent that to Bulgaria. And then they also took a cast of my chest and of my crotch. Just normal things that you do, and sent those to Bulgaria.
And you're like, there you go.
My joke is they sent my Bulgaria to Bulgaria. Hey, okay.
Hey, there's a pun for you. Check it out. Check it out, you guys.
Hi, it's me, Matthew Patrick Davis. I play the mother in Barbarian. And here's a sneak peek of the bonus content you'll get when you get Barbarian on digital now.
It's a lot of fun. Every actor likes to transform themselves. And this is the ultimate transformation.
We had an incredible special effects team that designed the mother head to toe in like the coolest, scariest way.
Well, when we first did it, it was about 5 hours. And each time we did it, it got faster and faster. At one point, I got it down to under 2 hours. Every day I was in awe and relieved. Oh, she doesn't look like me.
Oh, what up?
Get it on digital, you guys.
In case you missed it before, watch it again. There it is.
Wow. Oh my gosh. So look, the makeup happened, everything happened. How did the character come about? Did the voice and everything came after the fact you were in makeup, or was it already established, the movement, all that good stuff? Was it already established before you went to Bulgaria?
It was all, it was all part of. So in addition to the like feral children research,
right,
Zach and I also did talk about the sounds that she would make, and
Yes.
and the like the first thing he said, he was like, "Do you remember that viral cat video where the cat is talking and goes, 'Oh, Don Piano, oh, I ya,' like, which I did know about." And he's like, "So obviously not that, but just something weird, something different, something that isn't like your typical horror." And so I was trying to think, I'm like, what are like off the wall weird sounds that I've heard? And I thought about this Bjork album where there is an Inuit throat singer in one of her albums called Medulla. And there's a specific track on that album that I always had to skip whenever I'd listen to it. And it's like this like inward and outward exertions. It's like like this.
Yes.
And so, and they're kind of, and she's literally saying like "ba," you know. So I sent that to Zach and sent some clips of that throat singer. He's like, yeah. And then I mean, really, and then all the sounds that you hear in the movie that, well, some the screams and stuff, I think some of the screams and loud stuff is not me, but all the ba-bas and all that was done in an ADR session in a recording studio after the fact. I mean, I was doing it live on set, but then the ones that they used were in that recording session, and I'm grateful that they got to use my actual voice for it, doing the bay and stuff like that.
It's an amazing voice. So it's our Valentine's show today, and we all know that there's something about a mother's love. Can you say something in mama voice to our listeners and viewers right now?
Baby. Boop. A virtual nose boob.
I love it.
Nose boob.
Thank you so much for that. I love it. Listen, I love your voice. It really traumatized me. I mean, when Mama started to talk, I was like, ooh. I felt like there was layers and some depth of hurt and misfits and just so much torment there that, you know, she was going to give it. You know, if you wouldn't fall in line with her perception of love, she was going to force it on you. So now Justin Long has played in a lot of horror movies. Going back to Justin Long, how was it like working with him? And did he give you some inspiration of creating this feature?
It was great working with him. I've been a fan of his since Galaxy Quest, or since when he was on the TV show Ed. You know, I've just been like such a fan of his, and so I was so like excited when I heard that he was going to be in the film, and then I was like, we are going to have to do weird things together. Oh my gosh, I hope he's cool. And you know, and like I said, he had a great attitude the entire time, which was wonderful. I mean, there's even like stuff that didn't. Well, the whole rap thing that didn't make it into the film, and he was totally game. And then even in trying to do that scene, they had this fake rat with this little like animatronic legs that were going like bzz, 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 and they had like blood tubes like strung up the backside of my arm, so it was spurting blood. And I was straddling him, and they were trying to get this rat to look right. And the blood is spurting, but not kind of in the right way. And basically it's just pouring all over Justin's crotch. And this is like my coverage. Like, it's not even on him. There really is no need for him to even be there, but he's like being a good actor. He's letting me straddle him, and he's letting this rat just bleed all over his crotch. And he's like, wow, this is getting into my underwear, you know? And it was like a testament to how to have a good attitude on set, because he totally could have been like, can I get a towel, or can I not, you know, like he could have snapped or like gotten irritable, but he didn't. And that is a testament to a good actor with a good attitude.
Awesome. That's look, just the behind the scenes, you guys. This is great talk. I love hearing the war, the war wounds, the trauma in filming. This is great. Blood. Yes. What is the scariest moment in working on this? What was the scariest moment or moments in working on this film in Bulgaria?
Say that again. The scariest moment?
Scariest moment, yeah.
I mean, let's see. The scariest. I mean, I wasn't scared like the movie is scary because I know what's happening, and
Right.
But like as an actor, I was scared for things like, okay, so when I like Kool-Aid Man through the wall and then rip his arm off and beat him to death with it.
Crazy scene.
It's so funny. I laugh whenever I watch that scene. It's like, wow, I really did that, didn't I?
It's so good though.
But so that's an example of on set. So they bring me in after the like 3 hours of makeup, and here I come, and they're like, okay, this is a breakaway wall. It is so fragile, and we only have one take. We only have one go at this, but don't even breathe on it. Don't touch it. It's so fragile. It's going to break. Okay. And so then they bring me around to the other side of the wall. Okay. And then I'm waiting to hear the line, man, he has 15 years. He ain't never coming this, whatever. And then I'm like, okay. And I put my shoulder into it. It is not fragile. It's like a thick breakaway wall. And it breaks where my shoulder hits it, but it doesn't break where my skinny little legs are. It's not like a full body, like a football player coming through a piece of paper, or like Roger Rabbit, it's like, it just breaks at the top. And then, so I kind of like trip fall through the hole. And so there's footage of Mother like kind of awkwardly tripping through this hole that she just broke. But and like, so that happened, and then you hear Zach just go like, huh. And like me as an actor, I'm like, I ruined the take. I ruined the one go we had at it, even though it's not my fault.
Right.
Wow. And but luckily they like, he pivoted in the moment, and he's like, okay, we're gonna just have you jump through the hole. And so, in the movie, you see the wall break, and then you cut to someone's reaction, and then you see me jumping through the hole, and it works. It totally works. But that's an example of like, I don't know. And I hope like the more of these things I get to do, I hope that I can get better at not internalizing these things and like taking total, like make me feel so bad. Like I messed up, when we're all trying our best, and that wasn't my fault,
Yes.
But,
yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Working with Bill Skarsgård, who played Pennywise in a recent It franchise, was a bit intimidating working. Was it a bit intimidating working with Bill?
Yeah,
and
for sure.
What was his thoughts about Mama?
For sure. Because also I had, when I found out that Bill Skarsgård was on the project, I watched the 2 It movies. I hadn't seen them yet, and
really.
Yes, and boy, and I was just so impressed with his performance, obviously, and I was just like, he's just delivered like an iconic prosthetics performance of like the past decade, and no pressure on me, and that was my first day on set, was meeting Bill and killing Bill.
Kill Bill, yes.
And and he was just like, but he was totally great. And he like shared with me about, I was asking him about the physical vocabulary for his character, and he was telling me about it. And then, and he was just like, yeah, I'm glad it's you and not me in this one, cause like, I'm sure he loved the opportunity to just have his handsome face be shown, and, not have to get into the 3 hours of makeup and all that.
Yes.
So he's good.
So you said like the makeup in the beginning, took 5 hours, then they got it under 2, right? How long or days of shooting were you doing that? Because I'm picturing like, if it's 5 hours, if you're taking a typical work day of 12 hours, you only got 7 hours. You only got 7 hours of shooting. So what time did you start to finish, and how was that work day basically with that long makeup session? Because I'm curious about that.
Yeah, exactly. And it also is like an hour to get out of it too, because it's not, you can't just rip it off. You have to like slowly unglue it from your skin. So I think because it was low budget, they never wanted me to go over 12 hours, because once an actor goes into that 12th hour, it becomes very expensive for them. So they kept me my entire day under 12 hours every single time. Wow. Even with the getting into the makeup and then shooting and getting out of the makeup, it was only 12 hours. Now that's like, that's like a luxury in like creature acting. I think I've talked to Doug Jones, who, was the fish guy in Shape of Water, and in Pan's Labyrinth is this guy, you know, and he's done a ton of stuff. And he was talking about Hellboy 2, where he was like, just his days were like 18 hours, 19 hours. And there were sometimes he would just like stay in the makeup overnight and just like take a nap and then just turn around in the next day. That sounds like a horrible nightmare, you know, but you know.
And
yeah.
you have a similar interest with Doug. You guys have the same manager, or you guys know? Okay, you have
yeah. Just by sheer coincidence, we have
Awesome.
the same manager. I
cool.
signed with him because he came to see a one-man musical I was doing at a comedy theater in Los Angeles, and then he represents a lot of comedy people, and then he also represents Doug Jones. And so in that meeting, I was like, I know who Doug Jones is, by the way, and I, as a tall, skinny, physical actor, would like to do that also, you know, in addition to other things, just FYI. So that's actually how I got on a short list to have a Zoom call with Zach. There's been a number of things where people will come to my manager for Doug, and then he'll be unavailable because he's really busy. And then my manager
like, hey,
do the Doug Jones pivot.
Right. Listen, tall and skinny is winning with these villain horror characters. That, I mean, like, we want to play a game with you soon about what character would you like to play, if that's okay with you. But we got more questions to ask. Jarrord, did you want to go to your next one, or because I got one? Go ahead.
Yeah. So one thing that surprised me is, first off, I didn't realize you're completely naked in the suit. So actually, one of my questions was like, how did you prepare for the physicality of the script? Was, even with all that prosthetic, was it still hot? Was it sweaty? Did you have to get ready for the role physically? Like, did you like, hey, we're going to shoot in 3 months. All right, I'm going to get some cardio up. I'm going to do A, B, or C, getting ready. Because I can remember, I think his name was Hiroshi. I can't pronounce the name. I'm not going to butcher, but it's a Japanese name, so I'm not going to try to do it. When he played Godzilla back in 1954, over the time he shoot, he dropped by 30-something pounds just in that large suit. I understand it's a different suit, but there's still physicality to playing a monster. So did you have to prepare yourself physically for this role?
For sure, yeah. And when I booked it, I think maybe I had 3 weeks before I was going to Bulgaria. So I knew like, okay, I have 3 weeks to get into the best shape of my life, you know, because I wanted to be strong. I wanted to be flexible.
Six-pack.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to be like get sore before and not be sore on set, you know, not have to like repeatedly be doing a thing and then be like, oops, I got a crick in my back now. I'm injured or whatever, you know. So yeah, I did just train as much as possible. Also, like Zach asked me, he was like, I hate myself for asking this, but whatever you can do to get as lean and mean as possible. And I'm already like a skinny guy, but like I had like a little like COVID tum from probably eating whatever and drinking too much alcohol. So I stopped drinking alcohol and I like changed my diet too at the same time as I was doing this workout stuff. And yeah, like I lost a bunch of weight, which was crazy. Like the first time I'd ever done that. And yeah, just doing whatever I could to get into that feral strength mode.
Well, yeah. What was the?
Go ahead, Dwight.
What was the most physical? What's the word for it? Demanding part of the playing Mama. Did you have any certain scenes that really stuck out?
Yeah, oddly enough, it's not one you would think, but it was when we were doing the bottle scene. When I was they got this pit and then this grate over the pit, and I was like crouched on that grate, and there were like big holes in it too. Like I totally could have like slipped through or whatever. So I'm like on my little toesies, like just crouched on this grate, trying to reach my arm down as much as possible. And I remember on that day, I was like, this is when all the yoga and whatever is like paying off that I've been doing for the past weeks. Cause like I'm in this weird contorted position for kind of a long time. So yeah, I think that's what sticks out.
That's interesting. You know, you wouldn't suspect that, you know, especially since if I remember the scene right, You mostly see maybe chest up and a little bit of his face going down right there.
You just see my arm. Yeah, like you just see my arm and like my hair come through. But like, yeah. And there were other times too where I was like laying on the grate. But yeah.
I got mad.
Go ahead.
I got mad respect for you being able to pull this raw because I'll be too immature. I'll be trying to bottle feed everybody with my nipples because they're like an inch long or 2 inches. Come here.
Mentioning the bottle scene and this feeding. Listen, if you were in a situation, let's say if it's a real world situation, you're trapped in a hole, because the bottle scene is one of my favorite physical scene moments in the movie. Passing that bottle through that grate, seeing the hair on it, letting it the pan like kind of pull out. I was traumatized from that scene. If you were in that real situation and Mama offers you a baba, would you take a sippy sip from it?
You got to just drink it.
You just got to drink it, right? Because when I saw Tessa, she was like, "Drink it." I was just like, "Drink it." She was in that hole. She understands. She knew whatever Mama was trying to do, and she was trying to save this guy. And he said no, and Mama said, "Fine, you want to play this? I'm gonna take you upstairs, and you're gonna have a sippy sip from my nip." And
that's what I want. I want straight from the source.
Oh, yeah. You don't know how old that bottle milk is exactly. Yeah, you want.
Yeah,
you
gotta
fresh.
Gotta get it fresh. If I'm gonna drink some monster milk, I want it fresh from the teat.
Yeah,
when just the character throws Tess off the water tower. Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen it, do you think Mother would forgive him?
I mean, she ripped his head open. I don't think she forgave him.
Yeah, because I felt like maybe, because she mothered him as well as Tess, maybe there would have been, but no, it was more of a Tess. She had a more connection there, huh?
Yeah, I mean, and also, she's been like abused by a man. I think like all the people that she killed all the men, And but yeah, no. He pushed her baby off of a tower. He deserves to have his eyes gouged out.
yeah. Which let's take a look at that scene real quick.
Oh, okay.
You guys check this out.
Okay.
Oh my God, are you okay? I'm so sorry. I had no choice, She was gonna kill us both, and I had no time to think.
Oh,
there it is.
Matthew, bravo. I mean, first of all, having this character AJ, being this likable person, he was the fun moment of the movie, and then but really he's a snake, and he turns, and when he took Tess, when he threw Tess off that water tower, I screamed. I was like, no! After she worked so hard to try to save him, coming back to get him out of that situation. But then seeing Mama dive down to protect Tess and then gets her revenge, I was like, again, the plot has thickened. I mean, now you're rooting for Mama. Then Tess does what she had to do, and she takes the gun and shoots Mama in the head. Then you start to feel for Mama. I never ever expect that I would, and I guess movies where you could feel or empathize with a villain there's more depth into it. But when that happened, I was like, wow, Mama actually had a heart. Wouldn't you say like she had more of a responsibility to her to what she was portraying, the love that she was portraying, or trying to, I guess, mimic. And I think every woman has that mother instincts, and man, you did an awesome job with it. I mean, woo! I love that scene. It takes my breath away, Matt. You did a great job. What?
Thank you.
I mean, how was it doing your first horror movie? For sure. Like, how was it for you?
Yeah, it was insane. It was just every day was an insane thing. It was just like, okay, today, I'm gonna get in a flight rig and shoot this flying off the water tower thing. Oh, and then yeah, yesterday I gouged someone's eyes out. Normal, just like, yeah, it was great.
It's so cool. I just want to be a fly on the wall during production and just witness all of it, because this is one of my all-time favorite movies. Would you be a part of another horror movie?
Gladly. Yeah.
What was your huge takeaway from working on this feature?
My takeaway. What was my takeaway? I don't know. I think just like I think about like having a good attitude. I think that was my takeaway about like obviously what I was talking about with Justin, but then also about talking with Doug Jones. I think why he works a lot in prosthetics is because he has a famously good attitude. He won't complain, that kind of thing. And it's tough. Like, you have things like glued to your face and like poking in your eye and like there are times you want to
hours. Yeah.
Oh, and it can be little things too. Like there was one day particularly on set where they applied my face thing and they applied it just like millimeters lower than they had done it the previous day. So it was just kind of like slightly resting on my eyelids, like on the and just that little difference of just not feeling like you could totally open your eyes and like have full facility with your eyeballs. That over the day started to just like, and I noticed my attitude lowering, and so I had to channel good old Dougie Jones. I'm like, all right, this is the moment when you channel Doug.
So would you say would you perform a large monster costume? Would you do that again?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean it's like a fun opportunity to completely transform into like someone that is not like you at all, and as an actor, that's a lot of fun. And so yeah, I'll gladly do it.
And because of that, we want to play a game. Let's do it. Okay, Matthew, before we let you go, we want to play a game with you because we want to do it with all of our guests. And so what we did is we selected 10 movie monster characters. Okay, and you have to put them from 1 through 10, 1 being your most priority, most interest character you would like to play, and 10 being your least. Okay, it's real simple. We're gonna have fun with you. We just want to know who would Matthew play. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Here we go. So we have Ghostface, we have Creeper, we have Jack Skellington, Freddy from Five Nights at Freddy, The Fly, Wolfman, Creature from Black Lagoon, Godzilla, Predator, and Alien.
All right. Well, and also I still have a lot of horror blind spots. So there are some of these that I haven't even seen.
Oh,
I know. So I'm filling in the blind spots as I'm becoming part of the horror community. I'm doing the work. But anyways, I'm glad you put Jack Skellington on there because, of course, that's my number one. Disney needs to make Nightmare Before Christmas into a Broadway musical.
Yes!
Jack Skellington. And come on, Tim Burton, let's do this. Second, I've gotten in the alien xenomorph costume for a James Corden sketch on the Late Late Show. So that was fun. I'll pick Alien second. And then Ghostface. That's a lot of like physicality and stuff. Okay, I'll pick that third. And then I'll pick freaking The Fly. Yeah, The Fly. That's fun and gross and goopy and just gross. So that's 4. And then Creeper, because anytime. Wait, that's from Jeepers Creepers, right?
Jeepers Creepers, yeah.
Which I have seen post Barbarian, and so any opportunity to get rid of Justin's eyes, again, I'll take that opportunity. Why does he always lose his eyes in horror movies? And then The Creature from the Black Lagoon. Yep, that looks great, even though I've never seen that movie. I need to see that movie. And then Wolfman. I pick Wolfman, and then I pick I pick that weird bear because I don't know.
It's coming out. Clubhouse. It's coming out soon.
Oh, it's in pre-production. It's a big horror thing coming out.
Yeah. Okay, and that's the monster in it. Is this weird bear with a top?
Yeah, there's multiple.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, so if it's coming out, all right, great. I'll be in that.
Okay.
And they'll cast me quickly because it's in production right now, and then I'll be Godzilla, and then I'll be Predator.
10. Woo! Let's do it. I listen. I love these selections. Jarrord and I picked them for you because I thought you were. Listen, my 5 was like his top 5, so I win that round, Jarrord. Thank you so much.
Zeno won for second. Zeno, I got second place.
But I know my Matthew. And let me just say this: how was the cons for you? How was going to the horror cons? Because you were in Atlanta, where I'm at, and I was trying to get there, and it was crazy on my schedule. But like, how was it seeing the fans and getting all that good chat?
Yeah, it was fun. It was my first time doing that, and it was great to because you read about the people that like the movie and you see it's online and stuff, but it's totally different to experiencing that in real life and hearing them say it with their mouths, and I appreciate that a lot. And there was a lot of fan art and stuff, like this guy drew a picture of the mother with markers or something. So I have that now, and I will treasure it always. And it was great. I mean, and I got all the love for Barbarian, and some of it I can own, and then a lot of it I can't. So a lot of it was the other actors, a lot of it was Zach Kreger, obviously. So hopefully they get to go to a convention at some point and experience that love too.
Awesome. Well, look, you got the last word here. Please promote the next thing that you got going on. Let people know what you're doing next. It's all you. Take it away, Matt.
Oh, I don't know. You could just follow me on Instagram at Matthew Patrick Davis, or you could subscribe to my YouTube channel, Matthew Patrick Davis, and and then I'll be posting on those things about what's next.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the time. We really appreciate you. Thank you for being on. Yep, that's scary. And
you've been a blast.
Yes.
And who you going for Super Bowl?
Who are you going for Super Bowl?
I don't follow sports in the slightest. So maybe the Eagles?
Yeah!
There you go.
Oh, baby, we fly high. We fly high. Thank you so much, Matthew Patrick Davis. You guys follow Matthew at Matthew Patrick Davis on Instagram. And that's scary. Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yo, if you like what you have just heard, subscribe now or forever hold your screams.